Today we're going to show you how to download Geotiff data from the West-Wide Drought Tracker website for use in ArcGIS. So for every product that's available in the West-Wide Drought Tracker, underneath the map there's this link that says download Geotiff data. So you want to click on that to download the data, and if your options are set correctly, it'll download either to your downloads folder or to a folder of your choice. Recall that with ArcGIS, working with raster data, that you want to try and remove all of the spaces from your folder names. So put this in an appropriate workspace for working with raster data. So once that's downloaded, I'm going to bump over to ArcGIS. Now, one of the common mistakes that people make who are not used to working with this type of data is that they assume that the TIFF data can simply be utilized in ArcGIS as is, and that's not the case. When you add your TIFF image to ArcGIS, you'll see that there's an area of no data surrounding the country that's a uniform color, and oftentimes you'll also get uniform color within the boundaries of the country because of the high range on the 16-bit data, where it goes between -32,768 and 32,768 on the range of values. So we actually need to convert this to something that's useful in ArcGIS. And the way to do that is to right-click on your file name, scroll down to Data, and go to Export Data. You open up the Export Data dialog box for raster data, and you'll notice that your cell size is fairly small. That's because these data are in geographic projections, so this is in decimal degrees. And then one of the things about this data is that there's a lot of no data values or cells outside of the US. So we want to go ahead and tell ArcGIS that the no data value for these data is -9999. Once we've got that done, we want to go ahead and assign a file name. Now I actually want a grid here so that I can utilize it more easily in Spatial Analyst. And of course with grids in ArcGIS, your file name has to be less than 13 characters. So I'm going to go ahead and create a file name here that is less than 13 characters, and then click on Save. And it's going to ask me if I'd like to add the map to the layer, and I click yes. And now all I've got left is my actual data set that, because it's now been converted to a grid, also has an attribute table. And now you can use this data in ArcGIS. Have fun.